Hey everybody, Mark Dawes here once again, and you've probably seen over the last few days I put up some videos on handcuffs. Well, I've now got a video I'd like to share with you that has a lawyer's opinion on it, and it is a very, very experienced lawyer in his own right, so I'd like to share it with you, and he's allowed me to do so. The lawyer in name is Baskind, and if you look at his website here, or if you look at the John Moores University website here, up in Liverpool, you can see a biography on Eric. Eric is a hugely experienced and competent guy, and if you've been on our conferences, you'll have met him. And I don't think there's many people that don't know about Eric if you're in the field of violence reduction or physical restraint. But you can see all of his qualifications and competencies and experiences here. It actually says here that he's instructed as an expert witness both in the UK and other countries in more than 3,000 cases. I actually reckon it's more than that. I reckon it's about 4,000 cases by now. I mean, he's advised organisations such as the High School Hospitals, Ashworth, Rampton, Broadmoor, Carstairs. He's done all sorts of things there. He's given written and oral evidence to the Lord Carlisle Independent Inquiry on the use of physical restraint in prisons, secure training centres and local authorities secure children's homes. He was also involved with a commission that was chaired by Lord Ramsbottom, who was formerly the Chief Inspector of Prisons, and following the death of Mr. Jimmy Mabenga, who died while being restrained during his deportation from the UK. So Eric is a pretty knowledgeable guy. You know, I speak to Eric on a regular basis, and you know he actually knows what he's talking about. So we're getting now a legal opinion from a very qualified and competent individual. And this is what Eric said. He said this. He said, "Liked your video re handcuffs. And another way of explaining the law is to ask simply whether it is lawful for D to use force on X." So that's just one person using force on another. Section 3.1 of the Criminal Law Act 1967 sets out that a person may use such force as reasonable in the circumstances in the prevention of crime, or in effecting or assisting the lawful arrest of offenders or suspected offenders or a person unlawfully at large. And most of you watching this video will know that anyway. Provided the force used is reasonable, then there is no law preventing the person using such things, such as tape, straps, handcuffs, etc. If the use of these items is not justified, reasonable, then the person could be committing a number of offences, assault, false imprisonment, etc., in the same way he would be if his use of empty-hand force was not necessary or reasonable. In some countries, there are specific offences if a non-law enforcement officer carries handcuffs, but there is no such prohibition in the UK. In Scotland, the rules for carrying out a citizen's arrest differ only in that the person exercising the power must have actually witnessed the offence occurring, and this offence needs to be serious. Unlike in England and Wales, a person in Scotland cannot therefore act upon information provided from another person as justification for carrying out a citizen's arrest. As with England and Wales, provided the means used is deemed reasonable force, then handcuffs, etc. are not outlawed. Eric Baskind. So what Eric's actually saying, and I spoke to him about this, he's saying that you could legitimately walk down the street today carrying a set of handcuffs and you're not committing a criminal offence. You're not breaking the law in any way, shape or form. And if you actually went to someone's assistance, or you prevented a theft, or you detained someone and stopped them from actually escaping, or arrested them in other words, and you use those cuffs in the same way you would use your hands, i.e. to actually control someone and actually keep them safe, then provided the use was reasonable, there is no law prohibiting you from doing so. So I hope that clarifies the point on this. And there's something to bear in mind. I offer handcuff training courses. A lot of other people offer handcuff training courses. What Eric's actually saying is you don't have to necessarily go away and be trained to use this stuff. Their usage is actually allowed under common and criminal law. Having said that, if you are an employer and you are employing staff and you are expecting them to use the equipment, then under health and safety legislation, you have to train them. There is no exceptions there whatsoever. But the bottom short of it, the long and short of it is, handcuffs are a temporary restraining device, and any person lawfully in the UK, England, Wales and Scotland can use them as long as their use is deemed reasonable in the circumstances. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.